Rosemary is considered a protective plant in almost all witchcraft practices. But do you know why? And I mean, why it's protective, why it's not for banishing. Welcome to the series, The Why Behind the Witchcraft. This is where we explore cultural phenomenons as well as integrated practices that you can do. We understand the science, we mix it with witchcraft, and we understand why intentions are connected to crystals, plants, and tools. Don't forget to subscribe to this so that you can see more videos like this. Let's get into it. Rosemary shows up again and again for protection, boundaries, and clarity. We are often seeing, oh, just burn a little bit of rosemary, add rosemary into this. But understanding the why as to how this was created is going to change the way you use this plant. When you stop living in a memorized redundancy of the plant, you actually get to know and make a connection with the plant itself. When you make a connection with the plant, that is how your energy, your magic, your connection and correspondence are going to strengthen. Rosemary, before it was ever considered protective, it was exactly what it was. Found out in nature near the Mediterranean, part of the mint family, rosemary grows. It was actually called dew of the sea based on the fact that it was always close to these tropical sea warmer places, especially near the Mediterranean. It thrives in those dry coastal environments, places with intense sun, salty air, and very little shelter. It is not a fragile plant. It grows steadily and it regrows quickly. It also holds the shape of its plant throughout the seasons. Even the structure of rosemary itself tells a story. Long stem, pointed out needles, almost as though it can protect itself. Long before it became a protective plant, we as humans watched it grow. We experienced it, we smelt it, we internalized it. We paid attention to how it held its ground, how it warded off bugs, how it kept growing even in all of the harsh climates. We saw that rosemary in and of itself created its own ability to withstand, to regrow, and to have resilience. What's fascinating is rosemary shows up across so many cultures with overlapping themes. In the Greek times, you would find people creating tiaras out of rosemary and wearing them on their head, especially when they were scholars or philosophers. They believed that it helped with memory. Now we notice with science that rosmarinic acid actually helps your brain work better when it comes to memory. In ancient Rome, rosemary was used as a household remembrance and protection. It was placed at the front door because the fragrance was said to ward off anything that would be unwanted or did not like the smell of rosemary. Throughout parts of the Mediterranean and even North Africa, rosemary was burned for the same thing: remembrance, honorance, and protection. It was believed that when inhaled, you were able to make a deeper connection with those around you as well as those who had passed. It was a way to protect your mind from any unwanted sources and keep the energy within the threshold clear, clean, and protected. Rosemary doesn't just remove things, it actually strengthens. The more you connect with rosemary, the more power it brings to you in your practice. When you look at rosemary, you can break it down and use rosemary oil. This helps your hair grow back. We are seeing people put rosemary oil on their eyelashes, eyebrows, hair to help hair grow. We are seeing a style of resilience from the plant itself. Now that rosmarinic acid that we talked about at the beginning is starting to uncover that it's actually helping with dementia patients. It's helping people with long-term memory loss actually regain slow and steady memory. And we are seeing that it's improving the cognitive function of memory return. That means when you are looking to remember something, having a sprig of rosemary or the scent of rosemary helps you ground into that moment in a present tense so your mind more clearly categorizes and memorizes what you are working on. At the end of the day, rosemary helps by continuing to keep things pure, grounded, and protected. We use rosemary to help hold boundaries. We use it to create a space where together it forms. Now, rosemary out in the wild elicits a response that actually wards off predators and bugs. It does not need any spray on it to protect it because the scent in and of itself keeps things away. We notice that any plant that does that naturally in nature is going to correspond to the same thing energetically. We see the same things in nature that we see in our witchcraft. The same things in folklore practices work the same way with energy work today. We also see that rosemary oils help with wound healing. We are seeing a level of healing that happens across the board with how rosemary interacts with us as humans, as well as certain plants and even other species. When we start to notice that we're seeing this protective barrier, resilience that's growing, and the ability to help heal us, we are now starting to make these correspondence and connections to exactly what rosemary can do for us. The neuroplasticity of your brain when exposed to rosemary heightens. The more you are having neuroplasticity move through, the better your mind is working. This is not only the science of rosemary, but it is the witchcraft of it too. Rosemary grows quickly and regrows quickly. You can trim a piece off the top and you will notice it continues to grow. That style of resilience is something that we want to make that connection with the plant. If you are going to start engaging with the plant rosemary, or maybe you already have in your practice, here's a few things that I would recommend. For one, bring a fresh sprig of rosemary near you and just start to smell it. Engage your senses. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What is the texture? What are these little needles? How spiky are they? Smell it. What does it feel like when you squish it, when you bend it, when you taste it? Bring your senses into the plant to make a connection with it. What is the plant saying that it feels like it does for you? Now, you can use rosemary and you can boil it down just a little bit, make some syrup. You can also add it directly to oil to infuse some oil. Now, you can also make oil that you want to use on your hair instead of just protective oil. You can add it to your cooking or for flavoring. And on top of it, you can burn it to ward off any of those. Growing it right outside of your front door also can help with protection. Now, just because that's what the plant does, doesn't mean necessarily it's going to do it for you. You need to make a connection with the plant itself. This is a way that you are going to deepen your witchcraft across the board. No matter what plant you are working with, the more you spend time with one individual plant, the more you will get to know characters and properties of it. Talk about how this helps with your mind, your neuroplasticity, and it's bringing all of this energy forward. Try bringing rosemary around as you are studying rosemary. Smell it, lean into it, and then re-burn it again when you want to bring it up. If you find that rosemary feels a lot more healing to you than protective, you now are making the connection that rosemary to you is healing. It is one of the properties. Just because rosemary has 5 different properties you can use in witchcraft doesn't mean you need to be using it for all of those. You are building a connection with the plant and understanding what it means to you. One of my favorite ways to use rosemary is to actually use it in a simmer pot. I love the smell of rosemary. So I take a few little leaves, I whisper into it exactly what I'm seeking. Bring in soft healing. Help me build my resilience. Let this protect my thresholds. And then when I place it in, I watch for a moment as it absorbs. As it sinks into the water, as the steam starts to come through and the smell comes through, I then thank the plant. This plant sacrificed for me. It's creating something that it's working with me, and I always want to honor that connection. What about you? What should I do next?